All right, this is what we will need. Chicken breast, half an onion, 2 bay leaves, 2 garlic cloves, and some chicken bouillon. This is what we're going to use to season the chicken. All right, we're just going to add the chicken breast and the rest of the ingredients to a pot, to a large pot. Also the chicken bouillon. All right. Then we're going to cover with water. All right. Then we're going to bring it to a boil over high heat. Okay, now that the chicken has come to a boil, we're going to cover it and then reduce heat to medium-low. Now we're going to let that cook for about 25 minutes. So while the chicken is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and get started on some other things we'll need. So for the sauce, we'll need some tomatoes, and we'll also need some chipotles and adobo. But since you could use a whole can of these, but they're very spicy, so I'm just gonna use, this is probably about half a can of chipotle peppers and adobo. Okay, that's not quite half a cup, so I'm gonna open up a new can. Here I am removing the cores from the Roma tomatoes, and then I'm going to roughly chop them. Then I'm going to transfer the tomatoes and the chipotle peppers to a blender. And I'm going to add about half a cup of water to the blender. Now that the chicken has finished cooking, I'm going to transfer it to a bowl to cool before I start shredding it. I'm also going to add about a teaspoon or so of chicken bouillon to the blender. Here I'm just slicing a small onion into thin rings, and then I'm going to give them a rough chop. Here I'm smashing 3 cloves of garlic, and I'm going to put them in my garlic press. Now that the chicken has cooled down enough, I'm going to shred it. Here I added about 2 tablespoons of olive oil to a large skillet over medium heat. Then I added in the sliced onion. And I'm just going to season it with some salt and black pepper. And I'm going to let it cook for a few minutes until translucent. And now I'm going to add the garlic using my garlic press. Now I'm going to stir and I'm going to let it cook for another minute. Now I'm going to add the blended salsa. Now I'm going to let this mixture cook for about 5 minutes. And by the way, this is a really good time to check for salt. If it needs it, you could add either salt or chicken bouillon. You want to make sure that the salsa is well seasoned because this is what's going to season the shredded chicken. Now I'm adding in the shredded chicken. I'm going to stir it until the chicken is well covered in the sauce. Now I'm going to cover it and I'm going to let it cook for just a few minutes. Now that the chicken tinga is ready, I'm going to start assembling the tostadas. I'm going to be using store-bought tostadas, but you could also make your own if you want. It's super easy, and I'm going to leave a link down below in the description box so that you can do that if you want. Here you can see I am spreading some sour cream on the tostadas. This is optional. My kids don't like it. They prefer it without the sour cream. But in my opinion, this is the best way to enjoy chicken tinga tostadas. And now I'm going to top them with the chicken tinga. And lastly, some shredded lettuce.
¿Te gusta? Muy rico.
¿Sí? Okay.
Muy bueno.